Let's meet in the middle.
I love you.
And buck it out. Let's go. We'll see.
We will see, buddy.
Netflix just dropped an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Mike Tyson preparing for his showdown with Jake Paul, and trust me, it's as epic as you'd imagine. You've probably already seen the flashy fight trailer, but what's going on behind the scenes? It's a whole other level. While Jake Paul is out there doing his usual thing, pulling off wild pranks and dropping cringe-worthy YouTube content to grab attention, Tyson's getting the full Netflix treatment. And let me tell you,
this fight is not going to change my lifestyle financially. I'm a fighter. I feel good. I can do it. I feel I can beat.
It's a whole different vibe. Let's take a moment to really think about that. Can you even handle the difference in vibe here? Mike Tyson isn't just any fighter, he's a living legend. And Netflix, they knew exactly what they were doing when they decided.
Intimidating energy in a way that could make even the cockiest opponents second-guess their life choices.
Mike Tyson, you know, I think, well, how old, 58? You think that Mike Tyson couldn't beat Tommy Fury's right now? You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And
decided to capture his raw, intimidating energy. It's the kind of intensity that could make even the most cocky opponent take a step.
I mean, just the thought of Jake thinking he's ready to take on one of the most terrifying men to ever step into the ring is hilarious. At 58, Tyson's still a wrecking man.
Step back and reconsider their life choices. Mike Tyson is about to deliver a wake-up call to Jake Paul that's going to be felt on a biblical level, and trust me, you do not want to miss this. Just the idea of Jake thinking he's actually ready to step in the ring with one of the most terrifying fighters to ever do it is straight up hilarious. At 58, Tyson is still an absolute wrecking machine. Netflix knows exactly what they're doing, which is why they're diving headfirst into live boxing for the first time ever on November 15th, streaming an event that's sure to have people talking for years to come. And who better to headline this historic moment than Iron Mike himself? Yep, the Mike Tyson, the legend who used to flatten opponents so fast that pay-per-view buyers barely had time to get settled into their seats. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, the social media kingpin with his TikToks and clout-chasing antics, is about to find out the hard way what separates the real fight game from the fake one. Because let's be honest, Jake's boxing resume? It looks about as impressive as a toddler's scribbles compared to Tyson's knockout.
This guy is going to be totally over.
Jake, is your plan to run?
Oh, he's gonna run like a thief. He's gonna run.
Nah, we can meet.
Masterpiece. Let's be real. This isn't some backyard brawl or another YouTube stunt where Jake can hide behind his fame. No, this is Mike Tyson, the man whose fists have probably caused more nightmares than Jake's entire career combined. Netflix knows exactly what they're doing, which is why they're diving headfirst into live boxing for the first time ever on November 15th, streaming an event that's sure to have people talking for years to come. And who better to headline this historic moment
than our relationship with God. You know, once we understand our relationship with God, we know that then we realize that we're ordained to do what we're doing, and nothing can stop us. And so that takes a lot of mental work, spending a lot of time with yourself, speaking, you know what I mean, with your self-consciousness.
Than Iron Mike himself. Yep, the Mike Tyson, the legend who used to flatten opponents so fast that pay-per-view buyers barely had time to get settled into their seats. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, the social media kingpin with his TikToks and clout-chasing antics, is about to find out the hard way what separates the real fight game from the fake one. Because let's be honest, Jake's boxing resume, it looks about as impressive as a toddler's scribbles compared to Tyson's knockout-filled masterpiece. Now Tyson's training regimen? That's where things get straight up savage. While it's 5 a.m. and Jake's probably still dreaming up his latest crypto scheme, Tyson's already awake, breathing in the discipline and focus that turned him into an icon. And get this mindfulness meditation. Yeah, it's not just for yogis. Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch. He knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
Tyson uses it to control the inner beast, to stay balanced and keep himself lethal. Control your mind, control the fight. That's his philosophy, and it's what's made him a living legend. While Jake's version of mental conditioning probably involves rehearsing his trash talk in the mirror or trying not to laugh at his own ridiculous Instagram stories, Tyson's conditioning sessions are on another level. We're talking an unholy mix of plyometrics, resistance training, and core work. This isn't just about staying in shape. Tyson is transforming himself into a human wrecking ball. His trainers are losing their minds, saying things like, "This is the strongest I've ever seen you." And that's coming from guys who've watched him end careers in seconds. Meanwhile, Jake's over there thinking a couple of...
For many, many years, a lot of people concerned about him returning to the ring against Jake Paul.
What are they concerned about?
Being, of a certain vintage, should we say, should he be getting hit in the head by, admittedly, not a conventional boxer, but still a young, physically fit, athletic man?
Bicep curls and some shadow boxing will somehow prepare him for War. Tyson? He couldn't care less about your Instagram flexes, Jake. He's going to turn you into a meme faster than you can say, "Subscribe to my channel." If you think Tyson's just lifting weights and doing push-ups, you're seriously mistaken. His gym sessions? They're a masterclass in boxing brilliance. We're talking 2 hours of non-stop sparring, footwork drills that would have most guys gasping for air, and precision training that...
You think Mike Tyson's knocking him out?
Either way, I think Mike Tyson will beat you up.
Damn, so we better enjoy our time with you while we got it, brother.
It's nothing short of poetry in motion. This isn't some influencer workout blog. This is the kind of stuff legends are made of. Remember, Tyson hasn't had a professional fight since 2005, but those instincts, sharper than Jake Paul's most well-rehearsed YouTube prank. Jake might think his youth and ego are going to give him an edge, but Tyson's fists have been rewriting boxing history long before Jake even knew.
They can't get the recognition for the skills they have, but everybody can get recognition by playing a video game and going on YouTube and fighting, and then suddenly you fight one of the greatest fighters.
While Jake Paul is...
Tyson's all about quality over quantity. His trainer puts it perfectly, it's not about how many punches you throw, it's about landing the perfect shot. And Mike? He's a surgeon with his punches. A single hit from Tyson is like getting run over by a truck, only with way less fun. Jake's strategy better be more than just running around the ring and praying, because that perfect shot, it's coming. And when it lands? Well, Jake might wish he'd stuck to filming pranks instead. Tyson's all about quality over quantity. His trainer puts it perfectly, it's not about how many punches you throw, it's about landing the perfect shot. And Mike? He's a surgeon with his punches. A single hit from Tyson is like getting run over by a truck, only with way less fun. Jake's strategy better be more than just running around the ring and praying, because that perfect shot?
You think he's doing a good job?
Yes. What do you think about the Tyson fight that he just announced?
That's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. Try to fight Tyson. If he knocks you out, but at least you fought Tyson.
It's coming. And when it lands? Well, Jake might wish he'd stuck to filming pranks instead. Mike Tyson's mental game? Absolutely legendary. We're talking about a man who spent his entire life mastering visualization techniques, preparing for every punch, every round, and every moment in the ring. As Tyson himself puts it, "In my head, I've fought this fight 100 times. This isn't some Instagram-level manifestation nonsense. No, this is a hardcore battle test."
Paul. Well, it was a no-brainer. It was just, he was the new up-and-coming guy in the scene, and I like shaking the sports world to its core, and I'm doing it now. It's just something I want to...
...tested method that Tyson has refined over decades. It's the mental edge that's made him a force inside and outside the ring. Jake Paul is probably hyping himself up with TikTok followers and YouTube subscribers. Tyson is mentally stepping into that ring over and over again, fine-tuning his strategy and anticipating every move his opponent might make. And honestly, what chance does Jake have against that? A man whose visualized victory against true legends isn't about to be intimidated by some kid who got famous for clickbait and online beefs. Tyson's mental preparation goes way beyond simple self-confidence. His past battles, especially the ones where he was down and out, have instilled in him a deep, almost spiritual respect for the psychological side of boxing. Self-belief? He knows it's everything. Tyson's seen and survived more mental warfare than Jake could even begin to comprehend. And it's not just about being tough. It's about using that mental fortitude to outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately break down his opponents, one calculated move at a time. Tyson's trainer doesn't just focus on the usual drill.
Don't talk to me about shape. Don't talk to me about shape.
Stay in shape, you all right?
You want 10 threes?
Okay.
You want 10 threes?
Let's go. Be careful.
He's also having discussions about Jake Paul's weaknesses, because yes, they're that obvious to someone with Tyson's experience. Tyson himself points out subtle gaps in Jake's defense, spots openings that a seasoned legend like him can exploit. Meanwhile, Jake's probably preoccupied with making sure his fight night hair is on point for his social media posts. Tyson? He's plotting every angle in sports.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat.
every punch, and every moment of destruction. This is a man who's lived and breathed the fight game for decades, and Jake's social media stunts aren't going to cut it when the real battle begins. For Tyson, boxing is more than just a physical contest, it's a mental and spiritual journey. He's not throwing fists for the fun of it, he enters a meditative state where the ring becomes a reflection of his inner self. The ring is a mirror, reflecting your fears and strengths, Tyson explains. And you know what? Jake Paul should be terrified, because while Tyson uses this meditative journey to harness every ounce of his mental and physical power, Jake's journey seems to revolve around trying to look tough for his fanbase. The man who's been fighting since his teenage years and understands the true depth of the sport isn't going to be fazed by some wannabe influencer trying to make a name for himself by talking trash. Tyson's been through it all, the battles, the losses, the comebacks, and it's this experience that will keep him locked in when the bell rings. And then there's the side of Tyson people don't see, the grueling recovery and ironclad discipline that keep him in fighting shape. He endures daily cold plunges, cryotherapy, and deep tissue massages to help his body recover.
Or beat athletes and beat a bunch of MMA fighters. You'd go, this kid can fight. He knows how to fight. Like, it's not, nothing he's doing looks wrong. He's not like sticking his head straight up in the air and winging punches with his eyes closed. He's fighting well.
From the monstrous training sessions he puts himself through. These recovery routines? They aren't spa day indulgences, they're sheer agony, designed to push his body to the limits and beyond. We see the pain and sacrifice Tyson endures, pushing his 58-year-old body beyond what most younger athletes could even handle. Meanwhile, Jake Paul probably thinks doing a few push-ups for a social media video counts as hard work. But Tyson? He's in real pain, recovering from the insane strain he puts his body through, all to ensure he's in peak condition to break Jake in half when the bell rings. Then there's Tyson's nutrition. He follows a strict diet of lean proteins, complex carbs, and nutrient-dense foods, all meticulously prepared. This isn't some half-baked influencer meal plan. This diet is specifically designed to maximize muscle recovery and explosive power. The focus? Lean muscle. Not bulking up like some gym bro. Tyson's discipline extends to cutting back on cannabis, something his team jokes about, but he's dead serious about his health. Even with conditions like sciatica, Tyson's commitment never wavers.
We need to know, Mike, that you believe in Mike. We need to know that you're out there to beat this man, to damage this man, to stop this man, like old, ferocious Mike Tyson would do. We've got to know it's not a cash.
Physical therapist works overtime to maintain joint and muscle health. Because even at his age, Tyson is putting in work that Jake couldn't even begin to imagine. Now, speaking of Jake Paul, let's address his so-called confidence. Jake himself admits he's nervous, and for good reason. Watching Tyson's training videos, especially the ones where Tyson knocks down sparring partners with those infamous left hooks, has the YouTuber turned boxer feeling more than a little unsettled. Jake's entire strategy revolves around trying to outbox Tyson, using youth and agility as his supposed advantages. But when you're facing a legend who's mastered the mental and physical side of the game, those so-called advantages start to look pretty insignificant. But let's get real for a second. When you're standing toe-to-toe with a man who's been destroying legends since before you could even spell boxing, all the youth and agility in the world aren't going to save you, Jake. But sure, Jake tries to sound confident, claiming Mike looks good on the mitts, but the real test will be in the ring. Yeah, Jake, you keep telling yourself that while trying to hold back your panic. Tyson's warning to Jake is clear and brutal: don't come into the ring unprepared. There's no room for half-hearted efforts or social media antics when you're up against someone like Tyson, who's been training with the sole intent to break you. This isn't a friendly sparring session for YouTube views. This is a battle where Tyson is out to prove that his ferocity is still very much intact. Tyson acknowledges the unpredictability of fighting a social media disruptor like Jake. But don't get it twisted, he knows underestimating Jake would be foolish. Still, that doesn't mean Tyson's worried. He's focused, driven, and ready to show Jake what real boxing is all about. As Tyson's prepping with the kind of grit that separates the greats from the fakes, Jake Paul should probably think twice about this little adventure he's embarked on. This isn't a YouTube vs. TikTok boxing match, this is a reality check served with a side of pain. And Tyson doesn't need to talk trash, his legacy does that for him. So, while Jake keeps talking big, hyping up his social media fanbase, Tyson's over here training like he's got something to prove. Because once those gloves come off, Jake Paul is going to learn the hard way what it really means to step into the ring with a legend. And let's just say it's not going to end with a happy vlog outro.